Uh, so because Bethany's phone was mentioned, it stuck out in my head. And how could we utilize her phone? Uh, how could how even Dylan's phone? How what would be on their phone that would allow us to be able to tell this is when the situation happened? That's my question.
As we speak right now, it's really not accurate data by phone that it will confirm time of death or modem.
With Dylan Mortensen's phone, it could really tell us a lot. It could tell us if she was active on her phone between the times that the murder supposedly happened and the time 911 was called. Whether she was awake or up doing things on her phone, calling anybody, texting anybody, any discussions that had happened previous in the night or later after that. Not accusing the girl, but nobody's perfect and everybody is the possibility to do some crazy stuff, right? Like a lot of people want to say, well, she's a victim too. Well, she was in the house. YNW Melly a victim too? Because that was his two best friends that got shot. That case, to me, just in my opinion, seems open and shut. You've got Melly getting in the car in the exact seat that the shooter was sitting in on video 45 minutes before. Phone tracks with the car all the way to the location where they stop and get out, which is after two people had already been shot. Then you see the phone track around the car to stage a drive-by. And then Melly leaves the scene. The guy changes clothes, goes to the hospital, says they were in a drive-by. The medical examiner is able to tell that the shots that killed him came from inside the car and that the drive-by shots were post-mortem. It seems open and shut, but even in that case, you had a jury that deliberated for 13 hours and said we're deadlocked. Some people believe he's guilty, some people believe he's not guilty. So when I'm throwing out this could be that. This could be the defense of this. They could use this in the defense. Doesn't necessarily mean that I believe that the what I'm saying happened, but it could be a defense. And then it's like, okay, well, if you believe that he's 100% guilty and there's no chance that he's the wrong guy or not the only guy, then you have to be able to disprove his alternative version of events. So I'm not saying she did do anything, but I am saying that just because she's a girl and a roommate, a young, somewhat wealthy white girl, doesn't necessarily mean that she didn't do anything wrong or that she couldn't possibly have anything to do with it or that, oh, well, it wouldn't make sense because of this or that. We don't know what we don't know, right? And I think her story brings a lot of questions, like Dylan's story of how things happen, what she heard, and the way it's written up in the PCA. It doesn't make sense to be. Like maybe at trial, when she testifies, if she does testify, or they play her deposition or whatever, when they do that, maybe her story or it'll make sense. Maybe everything will come together, right? But if it doesn't, the defense are going to rip it to shreds because it's really faulty as far as what the public knows about her statement and what she said that night. And then with Bethany Funk, there's so much. Like, where did maybe you know this, J Rod, because I don't. I've been asking this and nobody's gave me a good answer. Where did the idea that Bethany Funk saw a guy run out of the house naked at 2 something in the morning?
Well,
Where did that come from?
I believe that I don't know. In reality, I would like to believe that it was an narrative because I haven't seen it nowhere far as paperwork goes. Um, I have not seen it on paperwork. So if I don't see it on
Right.
paperwork, I have to estimate that it was a narrative. Because it's again, it's no, it's we don't have no paperwork confirmation of that though.
Right. Yeah. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that anywhere that would be anything verified or anything anywhere close to the PCA. It doesn't have anything like that in it. I know a lot of people, they just watch the videos on YouTube to keep up with it. They don't do the
Yeah.
research. So when certain YouTubers start saying this and that and this and that, they take it at face value and repeat it, and it becomes, spread through the community, and then you hear it and you can't find it. And you don't want to just throw it out the window because it might be valuable information, but if you
Yeah.
can't find it, that nobody can tell you where it came from, it's probably not legitimate, you know?
And also, I appreciate that you brought up the case of YW and Melly, due to the in that case is all circumstantial evidence, just as well the Brian Koberger case. Both cases are based on circumstantial evidence. The only difference between both cases is in the YW and Melly, he does have a connection and a link due to it was footage, camera footage, placing him on the seat that the shooter was supposed to be.
Right.
Um, so that's the connection. Even though it's no murder weapon, even though he changed clothes, took showers, whatever he did, we don't know. But it's a connection far as circumstantial evidence.
Yeah, they were his
Uh,
best friends, yeah.
Due to the paperwork that Ann Taylor has pushed, and again, she's I don't believe that she will ruin her whole legal career lying in court and saying that it was no connection between Kohlberger and the victims. So I believe, in my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion, I believe that she got into the forensics of the vehicle, which is confirmed that it was no trace DNA, nor no type of detergents, they like bleach or something that it would hide evidence or whatnot. And even though a high process of cleaning would occur, the detergents utilized for that cleaning would show up in the testing. Also, it would be between detergents and DNA, so it would be a mixture. It would show up. So as we speak, far as transfer DNA on the vehicle is nothing there yet, and also forensics within the computer of the vehicle will tell you pinpoint accuracy within the 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 day and how far the vehicle went. They will have it by now a good idea of what that vehicle did that night.
Yeah, okay, so Lucy Gigi, where we're getting that they didn't find any blood in the vehicle is that the defense turned in a motion that says that they didn't find any DNA evidence linking the victims to Koberger's car, apartment, storage, or home. When they say home and apartment, I'm assuming they mean his apartment and his parents' home. But the defense turned in a motion in the courts to the prosecution saying that. There was no denial that that wasn't the case by the prosecutors. And I feel
And
like
that's a
they would have
legal
come out and
document.
denied it.
Exactly
Right.
right, and that she would be perjured. She would her career would be over. So why would she take that chance to lie? So therefore, like you said,
Exactly.
it wasn't denied.